Okay, we're going to do a hack to a Fuji J20. It's a nice little camera. They're not real expensive. You usually pick them up for under 30 bucks. This is a 10 megapixel camera. Takes an SD card with a Li-ion battery. Okay, one thing about this camera, there's two screws on the bottom that uses a tri-wing screwdriver, which the Wii and stuff use. So I could use a tri-wing screwdriver, or I can just use a small precision screwdriver. Because I take these things out here, I ain't putting them back. I'll find I'll leave them out. There's only two. I'll leave them out, or I'll find a replacement for them. So I take a small precision screwdriver, and I can turn that, push in nice and good, and you can turn that and take it right out. Same with the other one. Push in hard and just take the other one out. And I usually discard them. I won't put them back in. But those two there are out. Okay, the rest of them are standard screws. You have two on this side with the strap holder. Now this hack is a 4-wire hack, so you have a separate common for both shutter and power. And there I have the screws out. Yeah, I'm going to separate the case. And I'll start here at the bottom. Now this is where it usually drives me crazy. There's two little tabs front, so I got to stretch them a little bit and try to push up. There's two catches. And you can see the catches are right there and right there, and right here and right here. So my back's off now. Okay, now I just want to. It's for my light LEDs, so we'll have to put that back. We're just going to pull the front off, and now we have the camera. Okay, we're going to pull back the tape that protects it. Now normally, for some reason this camera is a little bit different than what I've seen so far. This is your capacitor placed. You can zap on them. This one here is actually colored. It's the first one I've seen like this, which is real nice. So here's my power button, here's my shutter button. That's what I need to hack into. Okay, we're going to solder our first wire down. I'm going to go right to the power button. There'll be two wires coming off the power button. One's going to come off this corner. We're just going to lay that right in there. We'll hit it with an iron from the side. And that's our first one. Now our second power wire, this goes the opposite corner. There we go. And they're connected. Now you want to make sure you tin those wires before you solder them on. I didn't show that. But you really do need to tin your wires. For my next one, I'm going to use, for my shutter wire, I'm going to take a piece of wire, I'm going to peel back the insulation by 1/4 inch, I'm going to tin that wire. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bridge the two spots on the switch. There's two pads. And I'm just going to bridge those two. Now I don't want to hit the metal on the on the switch there. So I'm going to be just on the pads alone, and I get good connection. Okay, I got my last wire, which is my shutter common. I'll lay it right on that pad. Now that completes my hack. Basically that's what it looks like. We got power, common, power, shutter, which is focus and shutter together, and my common for my focus, or my shutter, I'm sorry. Next is the externals. Now one thing about this camera, it doesn't use a very big battery, Li-ion battery. And I very much recommend, if you're going to do this hack, is to do an external hack and put some alkalines with it, or another Li-ion battery with it too. And my points are, I don't want to reach up there because where my capacitor is. Okay, we're going to put the wire in for the externals. We're going to lay that right here, so I get situated that you can see it. If you follow it, you'll see that goes right through the battery clip. Okay, we're going to do the positive for the externals. Right underneath the flash, there's a pad there that goes to the battery. If I can hold it still. Go. And that's the external for the positive external for the battery. Okay, I routed the wire, I routed my power wires right underneath here into the back of the board off the top, and I'll run these right along this edge. I'll run these right along this edge around to the bottom. So now I can put my front back on. Okay, we're going to route the wires. Like I said, you can do this any way you want. I'm going to take mine and run up around the top. I'm going to bring it right down the side. And what I did was I cut out my case a little bit so I could do this. I put a notch here in the bottom, and I cut a little bit of the ribs out so that I can get that wire right down in around there. You got to make sure you hook that top. Remember, we had to lift up to get it apart. Moved on me. Half the battle is a lot of times just getting the wires to go where you want them to go, and be able to get the camera together. Sorry, I'm not showing this. I mean, you got to hook that top. And it's hard to show that, hold everything for the camera. Ah, there we go. We got it all together. As you can see, I'm coming out the bottom. And all I did was took the wires up around here and down around there, and I ground a little slot there to get my wires out of. Ground a little slot right there, but I just took them up all the way, up along here, down, and out this hole that I made. Okay, we can start putting my screws back in. Okay, my screws are back in. You can put the bottom ones back in if you want. I probably will. Okay, I put the battery in, and I'm going to check. I would always recommend checking your externals to make sure your polarity's right. I did do that. Now, my power wires were blue and white, so I should power on by touching my blue and white together. Camera power's on. Now, my shutter was gray and yellow. And by touching gray and yellow, shutter a picture. So our hack's good. Hope this helps, and it's a nice little camera, and doesn't have the best flash, but it's adequate. A little better than an S40. Hope this helps.